We're coming to you today on the pullback that we're seeing with Bitcoin and other alts. As you can see here on the chart where I got pulled up, um, you can go back and look at my previous videos. I said we'd pull back between $69,688 down to $65,327. So we are sitting currently at $68,537 on Bitcoin. And you may be asking today, how far is we going to see this pullback? Well, right now we are getting really close to the bottom of this bear market. Um, we could be coming down, consolidating right here. Um, Between 69, it tried to get back above the zero up here at 70,000, got rejected, and it's continuing to pull back more. Not looking for Bitcoin to pull all the way back like some other people are trying to predict 35,000, 50,000. No, sir. This Bitcoin will not pull back that far. You got content creators are now turning bearish, saying we in a bear market when they've been predicting that we in a bull market. Now they're saying that we in a bear market, so that is a signal that we are almost to the bottom of the bear market. So we wanted to come here from the channel and if you come across this content, how about doing us a favor? Subscribing to the channel, helping us grow. We want to bring you cryptos that's very uh, profitable. We cover XCN, ZBEC, the Canton Network token. Time to time, we do cover XRP. XRP is pulling back. It's at $1.33. I do have a prediction on XRP pulling back if you want to know that. Somewhere around $1.39 to $1.12. If that area don't hold, it's going to drop down to 69.70 cents, and you might be like, there's no way. Well, we didn't think it would pull back to $1.33, but it has. It got under the 5 here at $1.36. It tried to get back above it, but it couldn't. It got rejected, and it's pulling down further. So, as Bitcoin pulls back, you're going to see XRP being correlated with Bitcoin pullback also. We're just here to give you the update on the market, how far we could pull back. I don't see Bitcoin pulling much further under 65. It could drop just a little bit. I think I feel like somewhere between 69,000, 65. We could find an area to consolidate here, and then we could brush down here around the $65,000 range before starting a trend back up. We could be in this bear market for a couple more weeks, just consolidating as it did before in the previous cycle. Let me go back and I'll show you what I'm talking about. As you can see right here, let me pull this up. Bitcoin dropped down, it consolidated, it pushed back up a little bit, came back down, and it found its bottom down here around $15,000, $16,000, and then it started going back up. Well, from the time it was June, that I think around January, I think that's June, July, August, September, October, November, December, about 6 months right there. So we got about 5 to 6 more months of this right here that we're going through, and then we'll be headed back up in another. But I'm calling. We're swinging down, consolidating, maybe getting a final drop, down here at 65,000 on Bitcoin. coming across here and then finally getting a drop down to 65 before heading back up into the next cycle. And we look into the last quarter of this year uh, when we see a reversal on Bitcoin moving back up around September, August or September, going into October, seeing a reversal, and then we'll start back up. But in the meantime, we come in here wanting to let you know where we see Bitcoin pulling back to, um, how long we're going to be in this bear market before we start to see a reversal back up uh, into the next cycle. So this is what we're bringing to you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're coming here trying to give all this good content out. Um, might be not as famous as other YouTube channels, crypto channels, but we're trying to bring you the honest truth here. Like I say, you can go back and look on previous Bitcoin videos. I did have this aligned out. It's nothing that I created today. It's always been there from 69,000 to 65. Um, and that's just where we at. Uh, Bringing you the honest truth on this crypto. Um, I know a lot maybe lost money, but uh, it's going to always come back. It's going to go back up. It's just going to, you're going to have to endure this bear market for a little bit, and then we've been in a bear market for a while, for several months. I'd say 5-6 months. You can look across the board on the altcoins, and you can see the steady downward trend across many alts. Majority of the alts, we've been from the last election when we had an altcoin season, we rallied up. Kind of a blow off top during Trump's election and going into the inauguration into 2025. You can see that we did have a rally, we did have an alt season, but I don't know what people were really looking for 2025. After that, we went into a bear market. We've been in a bear market. We did have Bitcoin to retrace and make a higher high in October the 4th or the 5th. And then once it done that, that was it. That was, and truly and honestly, Bitcoin was in a bear, had went to a bear market before then. It just did a retracement and got a higher high. Call me crazy, but uh, uh, it was good that Bitcoin did a higher high at $126,000. But it was in a bear market before it did that. And you might be like, well, how did it do that? It was just a retrace, and just money was just flowing in at that time, and it created a higher high. But and on that day, that was the end of the 4-year cycle when Bitcoin topped out at 125,000. So ever since then, when it done its retracement at the end of the 4-year cycle, it came down, and it's been coming down. I thought it would retrace back to the 50-week moving average. It tried. It got to 98,000, maybe about 99,000. It didn't really go and touch the 50-week. I was kind of off, but it did try, but it just didn't have the momentum to touch the 50-week moving average. So it got rejected when it did what it did, and now we're seeing the results of a hard pullback on Bitcoin. Um, and like I say, we're sitting at 67,900, and XRP is steady pulling back. And like I say, it's going to continue to pull back. And Bitcoin should soon start consolidating soon. I do think the VIX is on a rise. Uh, a lot of people's panicking. They selling their crypto assets, but many are selling right now at a loss. I'd hate to be honest with you. It's going to take a little while as it does in every bull run and going back into the bear market. finding Bitcoin, finding its lows. People sell off and they get nervous and they were like, I'm done with crypto. I'm not doing it again. And they be follow the wrong content creator. But we're not here. We like to get the clicks. We do like to get the views. But we don't want to put your money at the risk of our clicks or clickbait or telling you that this token or that token is going to do this. We give you a general idea of where it's going, and nobody can predict the top of a token far as in a bull run. We can always give you on the fib to give you the next level where it's going to be at the top of the next. Usually when they go from the bottom of the fib, they run to the top of the fib. So before and then at that point, if they continue on, then you go from another fib extension and go from there. Nobody can tell you that XRP is going to do $10,000 or $1,000 or $100. Don't fall for the narrative of that. Uh, XCN getting at a critical level. I was predicting that this 5 cent hold, but it could drop down below, all the way down to the 00415. You can check them videos out on XCN. Good project, low market cap. These low market cap tokens tend to do a lot during alt seasons and bull runs. But as we can see on the daily time frame, I do have another set of. Let me go back to the 1 hour. It did drop. Like I say, you see here on this candle, it did push back up. It's almost 71,000 getting back above the zero, but it got rejected. So at that point, it lost momentum, and now we're down here at the negative 236. It did wick all the way down to 67,872. So I do think we're going to keep coming across, and then somewhere between 65 and 69. I could be definitely wrong, but I think this area right here below the negative 618 at 65,754 could hold. So big XRP, looking for it to continue to pull down. It's losing the 2.618 right here, $1.33. It's steady pulling back, and you could. We're looking for XRP to come all the way down to $1.12 now. So, and if it loses that, it's going down to around 75 cents. But it continues to pull back. It's not a good time in the market right now. We do ask you to sit back, and if you want to subscribe to the channel, we'll keep you updated and when to get in. We are starting a spot trade group. We know this is a bear market. We know we've been in a bear market, and if you want to follow behind somebody that's straight up honest and not with a lot of hype, that you can be very profitable on, how about subscribing to the channel again? But we're trying it. Many people that come across this video, there's a lot of people that's not subscribed, but they're not subscribing. I guess they don't like the content, but you're losing out on making money. You got to ask yourself the question: whoever you've been following, have you made money listening to whoever you've been listening to? That's the main question. So, if you will, like I say, we'd be glad to really have you. Subscribe to the channel, and we will keep you updated on this pullback. But we're looking for the next level for Bitcoin to kind of find this area between 65 and 69 and consolidate, and kind of, it could drop below 65. I'm not saying it's not, but we're hoping that 65 holds the floor for Bitcoin. So subscribe to the channel, and God bless you, and we'll see you on the next one.